Our railing and privacy panel system is designed to be quick and easy to install, even for beginners. Each kit includes everything needed for installation, except the lag bolts used to secure the posts. Be sure to use the appropriate fasteners for your specific application. Here are the tools we recommend for installation. Always wear proper protective gear. Taking a few seconds for safety can help prevent serious injury. And before you begin any construction project, check your local building codes. When installing privacy panels, it's important to note that the post size is different than standard railing posts. Privacy panel posts are 3.5 inches wide, while posts used for the rest of the railing system are 2.5 inches wide. Most of the time, post locations are set based on the distance from the edge of the deck. To make sure the privacy panels line up properly with the railings, the posts need to be centered with one another, which means they will not be the same distance from the deck edge. Since the privacy panel posts are 1 inch wider, they should be positioned 1/2 inch closer to the edge of the deck to keep everything centered. When determining post locations, it's important to remember that privacy panels cannot be cut. They must be installed as full panels, so the posts need to be spaced at the exact distance required to allow the panels to fit properly. That spacing will be 36 1/4 inches measured from the inside of one post to the inside of the next. Another way to measure is from the base of one post to the base of the next, which will be 34 3/8 of an inch. If you are installing a post beside a house, we recommend starting with a distance of 3 inches from the house. This distance cannot exceed 4 inches in order to meet most building codes. Each post has 2 pre-drilled holes near the bottom by the base plate to help align the privacy screen brackets. The posts only have these holes on 2 sides, so orientation is important. Position the posts so the 2 pre-drilled holes are closer to the outside of the deck. When installing the post, make sure it is square to the deck. Posts are secured using 4 lag bolts, and depending on the structure of your deck, different fasteners may be recommended. Regardless of the fastener type, all 4 bolts must be installed into a solid structure. This may require adding additional blocking if the deck is made of wood. See our website for more details. Once the post is secured to the deck, use a level on 2 sides to make sure it is standing straight. If adjustments are needed, loosen the bolts and use shims to level the post. Our posts include 2 composite shims, which are ideal since they won't break down over time. When the post is level, tighten the bolts and break off the shims. Most shims can be scored with a utility knife and snapped off, or cut with a multi-tool if needed. Install the 2-piece base skirt by sliding the halves together, making sure the pre-drilled holes remain accessible, then secure it with the provided 2-inch number 8 self-tapping screws on each side. All our screws are self-tapping screws, but you can pre-drill these holes with a 9/64" drill bit if you prefer. Install the other posts and skirts. All privacy panel brackets are the same, so take one and place it against the side of the post. There are 2 different size holes on the brackets. One side has a larger hole for the privacy panel hardware, and the other side has a smaller hole to attach to the post. Make sure to use the smaller hole, line it up with the pre-drilled hole on the post, and clamp it in place to hold it. Then, install the supplied screw into the bottom hole to secure the bracket. Make sure the bracket stays a consistent distance from the edge of the post all the way up. That will place the bracket at 3/16 of an inch from the edge of the post. Now clamp it in place near the top. Install the provided screw through the bracket and into the post. Once the bottom and top screws are installed, finish securing the bracket by installing screws in the remaining 3 holes using the supplied screws. Now, install all brackets closest to the edge of the deck only. These will all have a starter hole at the bottom. If you are installing on a corner, you will not have the starter hole, and so install the bracket 2 inches from the surface of the deck. To install the privacy panel, place it against the installed brackets. Some panels can be installed in any direction, so orientation is not important when you place the panels on the brackets. However, Certain panels need to be oriented correctly to ensure the pattern stays consistent. Be sure to watch the direction you are placing these panels when installing. Once the panel is in place, take another bracket and place it against the front of the panel. Align the bracket at the top and ensure the larger hole is against the privacy panel. Insert the 3/4 inch bolt through the top hole of the front bracket, privacy panel, and the bracket behind it. The head of the bolt should be facing toward the inside of the deck. To the back, add the washer, the split washer, and install the cap nut on the back and tighten it loosely. This will hold things in place for now. Repeat this process with the bracket on the other side of the panel. Now, all the nuts and bolts can be installed loosely on both sides of the screen. To secure the loose bracket, make sure it is lined up at the top and clamp it tightly to the post. Ensure the bracket is also pressed tight against the privacy panel with no gaps. Optionally, you can use a spring clamp to hold all parts tightly together before clamping. Secure the bracket by installing the supplied screw in the top hole. Once the top is secured, install the bottom screw, ensuring everything is pressed tightly together. Install the screws in the remaining 3 holes on the bracket. Repeat this process on the bracket on the other side of the panel. To tighten the nuts and bolts, we recommend using a 7/16 inch wrench to hold the cap nut and a ratchet with a number 2 square bit to tighten the bolt. Repeat this process for all remaining nuts and bolts and continue to install all the privacy panels. Finish by snapping the top cap onto the post, using a rubber mallet to tap it into place if needed.